Before we get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that I did say some false information in the last video, and I'm actually filming this before this video went up, so if anybody's commenting, I already know. And the information is about the Power FC. Now, what I was led to believe from watching other YouTube videos and forum posts is that the stock base map on the Apexi Power FC with the version 5.0.8 was super safe and conservative for mods if you have downpipe, mid-pipe, cap back, intakes, intercoolers, all that stuff, and your car will be absolutely fine. But after Willow from Lucky 7 Racing, who built the FC's keg, and then also our tuner Nelson, who's one of the top rotary tuners. He tuned, you know, RFC, the one on the side of the house. He tuned Mickey Andrade's FD from Throttle. He's just one of the best rotary tuners around, and he's really meticulous. They both informed me that, hey, that software that's on that FC, or not the FC, the car, but the Power FC, is literally for 90s gas in Japan that had higher octane rating, that didn't have E10 mixed into it, because most gases nowadays have E10 instead of just pure gas. And so they informed me that, hey, you really shouldn't boost the car. You should really wait and get it tuned. So what we're doing now in this video is we're going to begin prepping this car to get tuned. And so, yeah, I kind of shouldn't have listened to the forums and videos. I should have really consulted Lucky 7 Racing and Nelson about what I should do. But anyway, this is still kind of the cheaper and more time-saving route for now, because this FD will eventually get a built engine and go Haltech with all the Haltech sensors and the Haltech harness and the Haltech ECU. But the goal for right now is just to get the car fun, where I can enjoy it for about a year on stock twins, stock motor, while that car goes down. Because right now we can only have really one car down at a time. And we have one, you know, we have the burnt FC on the side of the house down. Thomas's right-hand drive FC is going to go down while we do the engine swap. And we can't have that many down. We can't have 3 or 4 cars down at this house. That's just not the way it works. So today we are going to be redoing the wiring for the fuel pump on the FD RX-7, because the stock fuel pump will have issues. It gets a voltage drop, and what will happen as it moves up the RPM band while getting tuned with aftermarket stuff that requires more fuel is it will actually drop fuel pressure, which will cause it to lean out, which will cause zoom, zoom, boom. So we're going to redo the wiring for the fuel pump, and that's the plan for this video. So in order, there is a Target receipt back here, and some water. But I think that's just from when we popped the hatch. But anyway, just like when we did the taillights, you want to remove the rubber seal. You want to take off that plastic right here. Thomas is going ahead and just, yeah, well, all right. Breaking my FD.
That was already broken, because I didn't even torque on it, and that just came off. Okay, let's try this second one, see how it goes. Okay, I think this one's more. Yeah, jeez.
Well, that works.
All right, so let's see. Gently.
Probably gonna need to get underneath here. So you're probably gonna need to pop this off too. Just pull this carpet back down here, because it tucks underneath here. Oh yeah, bolt's already missing. Yeah, this car has a lot of bolts missing.
Yeah, like little odds and ends, but you know what? You just go to the junkyard And in your pocket, you just take off every single nut and bolt you can find and then go, I'd like to buy this windshield wiper blade for $2, and then you jingle your way out of there and you've got all the bolts.
And we're not encouraging that. Don't do that.
Seriously, where is the panel popper, the red handle? Did you use it when you...
It's on the floorboard down here.
Yeah, see?
I knew we were gonna use it again, so I left it in here, but I forgot I left it in here.
Right. God forbid I needed it.
You don't need it. Probably need to chase it all the way up. Yeah, it comes off up here. So all this is one piece.
It's right here.
Fuel pump harness is down over here.
Yep, so you can just kind of pull that out of the way.
Oh, I see it here. Okay. So this is where it plugs in right here.
Yep. Yeah, so one of those wires right there, maybe that big one, is the power for the fuel pump. And so that's going to be the new trigger wire for the relay. So that's going to tell the relay to click on, and we're just going to feed power directly off the battery, also the alternator. So when your RPMs go up, the voltage goes up. Because apparently, from what you read and heard, this is not the case with this one. It's got low voltage back here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, next thing we need to figure out is what we're going to do about your battery. Because if we wire all this up, run this long ass wire to the front part of the battery where it is right now, and then we're moving it back here, it's kind of a waste.
Yep. Well, the battery's going to be relocated. So that was going to be a different video, but we're going to relocate it to the bin back here behind the passenger seat.
Okay.
And I want to get one of those skinny ones.
Mm-hmm. So you're sure that they have them in stock?
We can definitely double check. I'll double check the website real quick, make sure they have them in stock. Because if they do, we can run and get one real quick, and then pop all the plastic out back here and start running stuffs.
Yep. We kind of might as well, as long as we. Oh, she wet.
But first, you know what you should do?
Huh.
Finish that.
Oh yeah.
Because you know why? So let me just explain real quick. Because it is an NRG going into a Sparco, obviously the connector styles sometimes aren't different. And while the horn does work, you know, if you touch it like that and honk the horn, it's male to male. And so what we need to do is just take this, crimp on the female end to here, and then just slide her on.
But this is a 10 gauge crimp, and this is a like 16 gauge wire.
Yes, but hopefully we can make it work.
I'll make it work. I got stuff over here.
We got stuff.
Look at that. How professional is that? Let's see. I'll slip this in here. That just pops in there.
Yeah.
Make sure it's
You gotta go make sure it goes in nice and even and pop in.
There's a little retainer clip there. So it's gotta go in like that. Okay, let's test it. Push it on here first.
Yeah, just find it at the center. It'll let go as soon as it clicks in place.
And then it's on there?
Yeah. All right.
Works.
That horn sounds really stupid.
Well, that's the horn you got. Well, that wasn't so bad. But how do you feel?
I can't fit in there.
How do you feel about your black interior torn apart like this?
It hurts a little bit, but it's gonna be for the greater good. We can clean all this dust out here too from sanding the red.
What you got there?
Looks
Tissues?
Like it looks like a tissue. Looks like a old, almost like registration or insurance, some kind of sticker.
That's cool.
In here, but old little ratchet.
So let's measure for the battery.
Yeah, we need to grab a measuring tape here and see how much room we have.
Okay. The question is, we'll be able to fit it, like it's so small down there.
Yeah, but if it's only 7.5 inches wide.
Wide or long? What's the length? Because we need to put it lengthwise this way.
The length is 7 3/4 inch.
Okay.
The height is 7 1/8 inch, and the width is 5 1/8 inch.
Okay. So let's see. So 7 3/4 is right about there. But at that point, it's only like 4 inches. So obviously, it won't sit flat. 5 at the widest. Like the height is not a problem.
So as it comes up, though, it gets wider, right? So how high is it altogether?
Oh, from the shallowest part we're going to be working with, it's about 10 inches.
So if we come up like an inch or two, because obviously it gets wider, right? After you curve this right here.
Yeah.
So we could bring it up like an inch or two. If not, we can cut like little notches. We can notch it. But like, I mean, that's fine. The main thing is it looks clean. Like that's the main thing. I don't want it to be all like cut up and look like crap.
Yeah.
Because in FD, you can't do that on FD.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is really bugging me.
All right.
Well, this is built up to be quite more than we thought, but it's okay because it was going to happen eventually. Might as well get it done sooner than later.
Yep.
Since Thomas can fit and is not afraid to do it, and I'm absolutely mortified to be drilling into my own car right now. He's just widening holes that were already in here. So like, for example, this one right here, widened it and just put a rubber grommet. And now he's doing it on the driver's side, widening it and putting another rubber grommet for the battery wires to run through. So the positive is going to be on the passenger side, negative is going to run through the driver's side here with some nice thick boy 0 gauge wire, just like that.
Yep.
Keep doing that, and then we'll have the wires ran. Then from there we can come up with a list of supplies that we need, because we need the battery, and then we need the battery connectors, and then we're tie downs to get the battery, at least possibly if they have them, to be secured.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky.
We'll see what they have there, and then if not, we'll just order stuff off the good old Jeff Bezos machine. So we just came back from shopping. What we got here is a Miata battery. Really small.
Miata.
Yeah, and the part number is actually Miata, and the guy was like, what's the part number? And so I read him the battery model because I saw the part number said Miata. I'm like, there's no way that's actually the part number in my head. But sure as crap, it's the part number. Look at that.
Like a glove.
Can you let's close it here real quick? Make sure we got the. Yep, that's money right there. That's how you do it.
That's pretty cool.
Now you see? And all we gotta do is get, like, if we just get one of those straps like I was talking about, cut it right there, and just strap it onto the back. And put like the clip like right here or over here. But
cool.
So yeah. And then also we got the battery terminal ends that will fit the 0 gauge. And then also went to Fry's Electronics and got some cheapy style 6x8 speakers for the back, because as we're taking these out, these speakers are done. They're just torn, they're not connected anymore. So we can at least replace those two, get a little bit more sound coming out. Yeah, you can show them again. All around the edges right there, they're just torn and just done. So, now comes the extremely fun part of actually hooking this all up.
Yep.
And we can explain to you guys how we've ran it, why we've ran it that way, and hopefully it'll start and work the first time, please.
It will. It will.
It will. It will. The drilling still hurt a little bit. I felt like as you're drilling, just like scents going. It's like, oh, I'm losing money. It's shaving off the car. No, it'll be all good. We'll fix it all up. Thomas can fit back there. I'll just keep on watching and learning as he does it. And once we get all this hooked up, then we can finally move to the fuel pump wiring, because everything will be easier. Not running.
Yeah, that should be easy. But we still have to drill holes in this.
Oh God, more pain.
Yeah, because we need to pass those battery through here.
No, you're right. We gotta do it. It'll be clean though. It'll be clean trimming. It's not like we're hacking it completely off. And then if anything, if we ever do anything later, we can literally just put rubber grommets in those holes and fill it. So.
Yeah, little body plugs.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, drill your interior.
Oh.
A little further forward.
Right about here?
Yeah, that'll work. Good. That should be good.
This right here is about $1,000.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. This is my easy way. Some people might think it's the hard way to solder these connections on the end. I use this heat gun, and it makes things easier for me. Once it heats up, of course. There we go. It's starting to go. There she goes. And that'll just go all down in there. Link in the description for this heat gun. I love it.
So Thomas found a pretty neat spot to mount the positive battery terminal temporarily up here. And it's just to this diffuse box that's underneath the hood.
But if I can get this thing situated, it goes pretty cool right there. So once we bolt that down, and we'll have to make a bracket to hold this in place. But today we weren't expecting to relocate the battery, so we're just kind of improvising for now. But that's pretty clean if we can get it to stay right there.
Because one thing we're going to do is normally you want to run like a fuse like in between here and whatnot, but we're actually just going to connect it to the stock battery fuse box right here. So we don't have to worry about that. We can just run the wires. So the positive is literally going to run from the battery straight to this. That's and then distribute it from there. Yep. And this is just zip tied held on, so just... All right, so while we're off camera here, got this attached right here. It looks really good. I mean, it's kind of zip tied, but you know, we'll find a more permanent solution later on. You know, this is shoot from the hip, literally. Then we ran the wire underneath here, down right here, and then on this, where the ABS is, there's this bracket right here. So we attached it right there with this P-clamp, ran it down, and then underneath the car, there's this shielding that protects all the fuel lines. And there was enough room to drop that down, run it along there, put it back up, and now Thomas is going to take the camera because he can go down there. Was it fuel lines or brake lines?
It's both.
Both.
So I was able to get it underneath this shroud. You can see the red cord in there. And then we already have it coming out in the battery bin. So we're getting pretty close. Now it's just to do the ground strap. How do you think it looks so far?
I mean, besides the big void right here, it looks great because like with the intercooler that we're getting, you know, it's going to take up like all this. Yeah. So all this comes out. Socket intercooler comes out. This is coming out. This is coming out. The intake is coming out. And then there'll be the intercooler. New intakes that stop like right about here still. But there's a new box that goes over here. And then, yeah, just then all the new ducting that runs over for the intercooler. Plus it comes with a fan too to help draw more air through the intercooler. So.
Cool. Well, hopefully it all fits with this because this setup's pretty clean. So now.
It takes like right here. This should be out of the way.
Good. So now I've already got the end working on the ground cable, so I can start routing that to go in from the other side.
It's more than what we planned on doing today, but it is happening. It was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, and we got double trouble today, so with both of us here, we can move through pretty quickly.
Yeah. I can handle things on the top side, and Thomas can go where he can fit underneath.
Great, I get to crawl down in the dirty, wet underneath of the car.
That's what you get for being smaller.
I'm being oppressed.
Well, Thomas is running the ground this time underneath the car, and something went wrong. I went ahead and took care of the ground wires that were here going to the original battery. Got them grounded to the chassis. This is the makeshift one that we made when we were doing the Power FC, finding out that the voltage was a little bit too low. So we're just going to reroute this one, use it for something different. And Thomas right here finishing up this.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's loud too.
All right, go ahead and spray some WD-40 and pull this the rest of the way through until I tell you to stop.
Okie dokie.
Spray it on the hole.
Yeah. All right, so put WD-40 right on the grommet. All right, we got a lot of WD-40. You ready?
More. Pull that grommet through.
I'm not pulling the grommet. I'm not even pulling. This is all you pushing.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. All right. Hand me the camera so I can, because you can't even see my masterpiece.
No, I can't. There you go.
Okay. So here we go. Comes out from that grommet, tucked up nicely. We have a P-clamp over here from a random bolt that was in the perfect spot. Then it goes and gets tucked up underneath the heat shielding right there. Goes along the heat shielding, nice and tight. Comes out as I scoot right here. Turns for the heat shielding, just zip tie to guide it because it's tight against that bolt. And it comes up. I have it tied to this other group of sensors and wires. And then it goes up and down, and it's upside down now, the camera, but you can see it's grounded to the engine and the block via the ear of the starter there, right behind that bolt. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Cool. Well, glad I cleaned it out first. Now I gotta re-clean the. It's all red. It's like I did nothing.
I was just gonna ask you, how many hours are you gonna spend detailing your car after this project?
Well, after the rain.
The interior.
The interior after the rain, but I'll do the whole thing.
But how long are you gonna spend detailing your interior after this project?
Probably like 2 hours, 2
Yeah,
3 hours.
yeah, thought so.
So off camera here, Thomas went and took a little water break, pee break and stuff. I went ahead and stripped these down and got these new battery end terminals on. Ready to rock and roll. I like how this is bending, but that's okay. So honestly, the next thing is to literally put these on the battery to see if the interior lights turn on. Make sure we got power, and we'll test for continuity.
just sitting on there. We need to tighten it. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Steady.
We got lights.
Bingo, baby. Bingo. So let's get these tightened on here, and then we'll test where we need to test to make sure that we have a good enough connection.
So we got the good old multimeter. Going to see what reads. That's 12.25
Yep.
or 5.2.
At the battery, 12.25. We have 12.24.
So 0.01 voltage drop.
Yep, which makes this good. And then let's see on the engine. Let's have those backwards. To the engine block, we got 12.24.
It's all right.
Touch the actual block. Something bolted into it. Instead of just something on the intake manifold. Let's see here. 12.24. Iron. 12.24. Yes,
That's
we are
beautiful.
golden. Perfect.
So we can essentially just start the car
I
real
need you
quick.
to start the car because I need to see if the
Charging system.
alternator charges it. Yeah. .38.
He's charging.
Perfect. All right. Well, we're good. We're done with the battery swap. So we decided let's go ahead and change out the speakers since all the body panels are out. We picked some up for cheap on a little shopping run. They're literally glued into the brackets. So just have to heat them up and then we pry them apart.
Status update time. So while I was wiring and hooking up the speakers, making sure they worked, Thomas has been back here
Fooling around with the fuel pump.
and figuring out the wiring and everything and how it's supposed to be. And we got started once just by kind of slightly attaching stuff just to make sure everything was working.
Testing it, yeah.
And now we're going to do the final iteration of how to properly hook it up. And hopefully you guys can see visually how it looks. And then also we will leave a link also to a diagram which helps. But we've done a lot to this car today.
Oh my God, have we? So just to show you what's going on here is this is the stock connector in the hatch back here. It's taped onto this. I had to remove it so I could work with it. But I was able to de-pin the red-white wire. So this side with the female connector actually goes down in and powers the fuel pump. And I guess Jeff was saying that they have trouble getting enough voltage there. So what we're doing is we're using a relay to carry it. So this is going directly to the newly relocated battery on a nice 10 gauge wire. And then it's gonna go into here into the fuel pump. So this was, like I said, I was able to de-pin this. So usually this sits in here and plugs in here. And so now this one is just giving the signal to let the relay have the voltage flow from the battery into the fuel pump. And it should go up with the voltage on the alternator as well. So what we've done is we ran, without poking another hole in Jeff's precious interior, just through the little hinge here, we ran the wire.
Around here so you can see the wire coming through right there.
Attach it directly, it goes right through there. The bin still shuts completely. And then we pulled it up along the side here. To get it all this, we did have to take the strut tower brace off, pull this off and everything. So you do have to pull out a significant amount of your interior to get to it. But now, what I'm gonna do is, we have this relay, it's already fused. You could run an inline fuse, but these are really handy. So this post here is actually going to be on top of the interior, just below the carpet, and we'll have the relay just sitting right on top, bolted down, and that will also be the ground for the reference. This isn't grounding the fuel pump. This is just grounding the relay. And then if you need to, just pop up the carpet, you can see if the fuse is blown. Okay, so that is a success. that gets you the fuel pump voltage you need. We got the battery relocated. Everything is working, and you got new speakers.
This is true. Everything that we didn't plan on doing today, we did. If you think about it, like the only thing we did plan was just to the rewire the fuel pump, make sure that was getting proper voltage for, you know, tuning day and everything. But then it just escalated. Like, well, we gotta grab power. Why run it from all the way up in the front? And you can just relocate the battery and already have it right there. So then that led to relocating the battery, which led to tearing apart the interior, which led to new speakers. And yeah, it was...
Yeah. So, hey, but it works. Full day of wrenching on cars where everything's going well. Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, it was a good day. Like, nothing really went wrong. I mean, we still have a couple things to do, so let's cross our fingers there. But I mean, yeah, good FD day. It was a good FD day. And that he's become Geordie LaForge from Star Trek Next Generations.
We got this delivered from Amazon while we were working on this, and it is awesome. I wish I had it when I was under there running those cables. But for now, let's put this thing back together.
And with that, this project is done. So now, as far as the wiring is concerned, what is this? And I don't know where this came out of the FD. This obviously was on the FD. I don't know where it's from, but all right. Anyway, that wiring is done. So the battery relocate is done, except for we now need to think of a way to properly secure it in there. Have a couple ideas. So I'm gonna probably visit the good old Amazon shop, get that all figured out. And we got the fuel pump relay and all that stuff wired up correctly. So now we won't have any voltage drop when we go to the dyno, or not just for the dyno, but in general. We won't have any voltage drop causing a lean condition and popping the motor, which would be terrible. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead, just finish cleaning up here, pull the Z inside the garage, and we're done for the day. This was a busy day. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you found it useful, if you found it entertaining, give it a thumbs up. Always consider subscribing to the channel. And if you guys haven't already heard or seen, we do have a merch line. Now this is just a practice shirt. Obviously this was an iron on to see how it would turn out, but we actually do have full production printed ones now. We will leave a link in the description below on where to pick up the merchandise. We have a sweater, a men's long sleeve and short sleeve shirt, a women's shirt, sticker, and lanyards. When we'll have more soon, but they're only in the FC stuff right now. We did have a Z one, but after I saw how this turned out and stuff, we're gonna switch it up and change the design. So the Z one isn't up for sale yet. The FD one isn't up for sale yet. That one's gonna be a little complicated, but yeah, today was a good one. Really successful. Like always, we will catch you in the next video. Peace.